Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I've got a new project to get started on, and I'm just going to start having a bit of a think about it today because I wanted to share the whole process right from the very beginning with you. I thought I'd start at the very beginning. Okay, so I've got a big bag of stuff here which I've brought home from work. What I'm going to do is go to the desk and put all these things one at a time on the desk, and let's see if you can guess what it is I'm making. Now this is a project for work. Okay, in no particular order. I've got some craft foam, I've got a plain dark brown there and a glittery gold. I've got some white fur fabric. Cardboard tube. This is an empty ribbon spool. So is this. A polystyrene ball. Just going to get rid of this plastic bag, it's a bit noisy. Another little polystyrene shape. This is just a bit of a, I think that was the middle of a ribbon again. Just thought it might come in handy. Some fleece in like a deep wine red colour. Some velvet ribbon in a very similar colour. So some more of these little middles. A string of pearls. Are you starting to get any ideas yet about what I might be making or hoping to make? Some kind of golden yellow cord. Some thinner metallic gold cord, some kind of gold sequined kind of trim. Now these are actually posh snap fasteners, but they might not be used as snap fasteners. And some flat backed jewels, some gold shimmer paint. Not much left in these. We won't need much. And some antique gold shimmery paint. And then some pearl buttons and some more flat backed jewels in different shapes and sizes and colours. Can you tell what it is yet? Can you tell what it's going to be yet? Here's a clue. This is my sketch. Nothing if not ambitious. So, yes, we're going to be doing a special display to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, which is in June. So I've got a couple of weeks before we want to be putting the display together. So it's time to get my thinking cap on, isn't it? And start working out how I'm actually going to do this. I'm a great one for saying, yeah, I can do that. I'll enjoy having a go at that, and then going home and thinking, I don't actually know where to start. My plan is kind of that somehow this empty ribbon spool or this might become the kind of centre of the crown that I can anchor everything to. The foam is quite good at, you can cut it really easy of course, and it's very lightweight, but it will kind of hold a curve. So I'm thinking, you know, for those pieces that curve over, for kind of those pieces that curve at the top. And I can also cut the fleur-de-lis shapes and the cross shapes and stuff out of that. Now, as if I was only asked to make the crown. But then I took it into, then this very skinny fabric roll middle became empty. They're normally much fatter than this. This is quite thin and quite strong. And it got me thinking, aha, why not also do the sceptre? Whoops. And the orb. So I'm not just going to make the crown, I'm going to make the whole crown jewels. That's my plan. So I thought I would, before I even get started, I thought I'd show you what my raw ingredients are, and sort of share the whole process. It will be in fits and starts. I don't know whether to do lots of little videos or perhaps just do a kind of montage at the end. I think I'm probably going to spread all this out on my little table there and have a bit of a play, and when I come to actually cutting anything out or sticking anything together, I'll come back and film it. Okay, wish me luck. Really gonna need it. See you soon. Right, I've had a little bit of a play, and I've had what I'm hoping is a stroke of genius, because I've also got, which I brought home from work, because I intended to make up a sample, but I haven't got round to it yet. This ribbon lampshade making kit. Now what I'm thinking is that I can use the frame of this to base the whole crown around. It'll make it really easy. So that's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to work out a perfect size. I mean, it's not like anybody's actually going to wear it, it's only for a display. So let's do it. Right. So we've got a roll of plastic, top and bottom parts of the frame. That probably goes around there. Some extra strong tape. So I'm going to make this up according to the instructions up to the point where you start wrapping the ribbon around it, because actually I could still take all the crown off this afterwards and still make it into a sample lampshade. This way to keep the crown. That'll be up to the boss. Right, so large, clean, flat work area. Okay, ish. Right, stick self-adhesive tape evenly to the outside of both lampshade rings, so all around this edge. Okay. In case you wonder why I'm all glammed up today, I'm actually being taken out for a very fancy dinner, so I'm just sticking this around. Obviously the backing tape is still on, so I'm just sticking it around there, leaving an even overlap either side. I think this is just going to be perfect, because this bit sitting in there will be ideal for anchoring all of this to, and it will give a nice shape. That's what I'm hoping. Now I need to think about, do I definitely want it this tall? I think I do, because looking at the pictures of the crown, it's kind of as high, the main part of it, not including the fiddly bit on the top, the main part of it is kind of as high as the Queen's face when you look at it. So yeah, I think it's, yeah, this is actually the perfect size. Put a strip of self-adhesive tape on the edge of the lampshade panel. Right, need to get this out then. And it says remove the release film. This will be used for joining the seam, but I don't. I'm going to remove that straight away, because it will roll up and stick to itself straight away. So, but let's get it on ready. Right, remove the release film from both the lampshade rings. Place the sticky rings on the edge of the lampshade panel without the seam tape. Right. Okay. That's one on. Oh, this is a bit fiddly. Two on. I guess we just roll it up. Roll both rings around the panel. I'll roll the panel around both rings. Keep in line to panel edge. It's quite difficult with everything being very sticky, and keeping an eye on both rings. I can see where they say we need a large flat surface. Okay, now I've got going, it's not too bad. I need to bring that one in a bit. Oh. Okay. You've got to do them both at once as well. You can't, you can't really do it any other way. Then where the edges match up, give that a good press. Okay. My lampshade stroke crown. So what this kit is actually meant for now is that you would take ribbon, apparently 10 to 12 meters of ribbon if it's 2.5 millimeters wide, and you wrap it round and round. It's quite nice because you could, you know, take the ribbon off and change the colour or whatever, and you change it to cool. So yeah, quite a nice idea as a lampshade, but not what I need right now. Perfect as the base for a crown, I'm hoping. Like I said, I've not done an excellent job there. See if I can. I mean, it really doesn't matter for this, but when it's a sample lampshade, it might matter. I want to get it right. Yeah, brilliant. I think that's a really good start. So, so my vague plan is that I'll have a roll of this fur fabric all around the base like that. I might need to trim it a bit, and I can do some sort of black dots with a marker to make it look more like ermine. And then the fleece, now really this ought to be purple I think, but we didn't have any purple fleece and we don't sell fabrics like velvet, so this is going to have to do. And I'm hoping I can kind of drape this over. That's a bit too much of a corner there, but perhaps if I put some wadding around there to just like soften it. I'm going to have to get my hot glue gun out for this I think, and then I can use the craft foam to cut the strips. So there are kind of 4 pieces that come out like this with the ball thing in the middle with the cross on, and then these 4 pieces that are all bejewelled. So I've got to decide if I want to use the twinkly, the gold glittery. Is that too much? Would it be better to use this and spray it gold? Okay, don't need to decide that quite yet. I've also got this red velvet, but I'm not sure what it's for. It's just a perfect colour. But it might do for sort of anchoring the velvet down here. There, it is about the right size, isn't it? Right, I'm going to cut some wadding and pad that, and then cover this. I'll go back to I'm going to cut a strip of wadding and put it around here, cut this fabric and drape it over here, and probably hot glue it at the bottom, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going. Right, so I didn't have very much wadding left, so I've cut what I've got into, I think, the most useful shape. So I've got a long strip which is going to go around here, and I think what I'll do is I'll put, since I've got some of this left, I'll put some of this around and use that to anchor this. I might even, yes, I've got enough to do it, I'll just fold it in half like that and have a double thickness strip around there. Okay, I've got just about perfect amount to do that, and then I've cut what I've got left. It's quite a thin wadding, so I've got 2 thicknesses. Let's pull this up a bit. I've got 2 thicknesses. I've cut them into a roughly circular shape, and I'll drop them over there. I don't need to anchor this at this part, I don't think. I might just put a dot of glue at the 4 compass points. And then I've cut a roughly circular piece from that fleece so that it will go evenly around the crown. So I will then arrange that nice and evenly, probably tack it all around with just little dots of hot glue, and then it will, but I need to leave it slack enough to go down in the middle so that I can get this kind of a shape with it. Yeah, and then I need the kind of sticky up part with this ball, and that will be sprayed gold. Yeah, it's starting to come together in my head. So that's the next step, is to fix all this onto the frame. Back in a bit. Okay, I've got my layers of wooding in there, and I put a layer of fleece over the top. The lampshade base wasn't keen on hot glue. It was tending to sort of almost melt the plastic a little bit, but it seemed to work in the end. With this piece that goes over the top, I did another strip of the red tape and then tied it around with this twine, because I only really need to anchor this temporarily. I've decided that this is just going to be too neat. It needs to have more folds in it, and also I think I prefer the other side of the fleece. It looks more like the velvet. That you get in real crowns. So I've cut this remaining piece of fleece into a rough circle, and I'm arranging it more or less evenly, and I'm going to run a double gathering thread all around the outside and then just kind of gather it up as I go, so I get more kind of folds like that, more generous looking folds. And then I will probably use this strip of red velvet ribbon just to neaten everything up once I'm done. And then now I've got the base done, I can start adding my kind of structure, the shape of the crown. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and see you again. Okay, so I have done that. I've gathered it all the way around with big stitches in a double thread, and I found the easiest way then was to just turn it upside down and just make sure the edge is about the same distance down all the way along, and then I can turn it over and arrange it into nice folds. This bit will be covered by the paraphernalia on the top. You can see that from the sides now, that's going to look much more like the real deal, if you can picture it. Right, I might even just poke that down through that hole I made earlier. I made a hole right through earlier on, and then decided I didn't need it, but now I'm thinking actually I'll keep all that in place a bit. There we go. So that's that's the kind of inside of the crown. Now I've got this red velvet ribbon that I could just use to neaten up these edges and make sure everything stays in place. I'm just wondering, do I really need it? This is the last little piece I've got of the fleece, and I'm just wondering if it would be a good idea to put it around here to bring all this up to the same level. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, because if I cut this in half lengthways and fold it, it'll go right around double thickness and bring everything up to the same level, neaten it all up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hot glue all of this around, and then I'll be ready to move on to the rest of the structure. I have now finished the next step. I've put that extra layer of fleece there, gathered it all around with a double sewing thread, arranged the folds how I like it, poked a hole through there so I can poke this in and keep those folds where I want them. I'll probably put a dab of glue there once I'm sure that that's how I want it. And then I folded up the remaining strip of the fleece into thirds and just used it to neaten up the edges and bring everything to the same kind of thickness, and then used the red velvet ribbon to tidy everything up as best I could. None of this will show very much, if at all, but I just wanted to be, you know, just wanted to be sure that it stays in place, and that if you do see a little bit of it, it won't look too awful. So if you can imagine it now, by the time you've got there won't be this much of the fur, but imagine it by the time you've got the fur around, and then the oh, I can't do it. And then the cross pieces. Yeah, I think we're getting there. I think I've made a good start. It's going to be quite big, but I think that's fine. It is for display, so yeah. Right, I'm off out for my fancy dinner now, so I'll come back and carry on with this tomorrow, and catch up with you then. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Okay, it's the next day. Let's put a light on. I've got half an hour or so before I'm leaving to go and have lunch with my son, so I just thought I've just got time, hopefully, to do the last little bit for this video, and then it'll be on to phase 2. So here's my sort of inside all ready to go. I have dug out a very old can of gold spray paint just to see if it still works, and tried it out on the craft foam, and it seems to I don't know, it's coming off of there. I'm not sure it's going to work. It stayed sticky, and a whole big lump of it just came off as I touched it, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Otherwise I'm going to have to experiment with my paints that I brought home, but I don't think either of them is particularly goldy looking, so that's shimmer paint. What I've got, and not have to buy anything especially, but anyway, so don't need to worry about that right now. I have dug out this pack of craft wires. I think I got these in the works ages ago for a different project, and they were only like £1 for that pack, which I thought was brilliant value. They're nice and easy to bend, but I think they will hold their shape nicely, and what I want to do with these is make that shape where you get those upright parts of the crown sort of go up and down like that, and then you've got the ball thing in the middle with the cross on it. Right, so let's go to my desk. And I'm thinking, so there are 4 pieces. 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 of these gold colour wires, so I'm thinking I'll use it double, sort of form the shape, and then I'm hoping I can kind of tuck it in under here and it'll stay like that. We'll see. Very, very much making this up as I go along. And then I've just found out that they're hoping to start on the display this week, so I really need to take this into work with me tomorrow, either finished or to finish tomorrow, so I might be up late tonight. Okay, I think I might have to take the red ribbon off. I did only stick it in that one point there, so yeah, that's going to have to come off. Okay. take that off, and then I want this to go in there. This is where I find out that I did too good of a job gluing my fleece down. Oh, I don't want to take all that off, I really don't. So I've wiggled that through, and I've hooked the end of it underneath there, so I can secure that in a minute with some really strong, I've got some really strong tape. I think we'll do that job. And now I've got to hope this is still long enough to do what I want. Okay, so I've got that sort of starting to form that shape. I think when all four come together, I can use another bit of wire to link them together here. I think I can make this work. So I need to put another 3 at the other 3/4 there. So I'm going to do that, and I'll come back and show you how I get on. Right, so I've got my wires as near as I can get to the 4/4 of the crown. I've started to sort of shape the kind of profile. What I want to do now is take another piece of the last bit I've got of this gold wire. I might cut it in half and just kind of link these together with it. And then I'm going to get a finer wire. I haven't got a lot of that. But I want to use a finer wire like this one that I can just wrap around and use to kind of reinforce everything and give me a bit more kind of body that I can shape. Actually, I've got some more of the finer wire in different colours, and it's not really going to matter what colour it is. So when I've done that, I'll put this red ribbon back on again just to tidy it all up, and then I can work on getting my base piece, my kind of the arches that come up. I can decide what shape they're going to be and glue them to the wire. A wire kind of framework that I've created with this hopefully sprayed gold sitting in the middle there, and a little cross on it. So that is my plan. I might end up using one of these bits that I thought might come in handy to help to hold all of this together and put this on top of. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can quickly get this more or less wired together before I run to catch the bus. Right, so I have got my basic kind of arch shapes in place. I've wired them together with some thinner wire just to give it a little bit more body, but it's very flimsy at the moment. What I'm going to try doing now is just using some ordinary masking tape and just taking a little piece at a time and wrapping round the wire structure like that, because I think that will still be flexible enough then to bend a little bit, but the tape will help to hold the wire. So I'm going to work my way around and do that. So I'm just taking a little piece at a time and just wrapping it round like that. And because masking tape is kind of a bit flexible, I think that will work. Yeah, that's sort of holding it quite firmly now, and then I can make sure each one is roughly the same width, and then this will give me more of a surface also I can curve them. Once that's all done, I can curve them so that they're all they all got, you know, near enough the same profile as well as I can get it, and this will give enough of a surface to glue the the craft foam on. So I'm going to leave, I'm not going to put the velvet ribbon back until I finish doing this, because that will hide a multitude of things. The experiment with the gold spray paint on the craft foam, it has now dried. If I rub it hard, it will come off, but I think we'll just have to be careful with it if I decide to use that. Or I might just go full on, I just go for the glitter, because it's not like I'm trying to make an accurate replica of the crown jewels or something. Right, so I'm going to do that, and I think this will be, hang on, I think this will be the end of the first video, and then I will do a second video finishing it all off, hopefully. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.